Good morning, Oklahoma, and welcome to Cow-Calf Corner. Our topic this week is the current status of the cow-calf sector of the beef industry. The beef industry in the United States is really unique as compared to most countries. We've got a very large cattle finishing part of that, and the cow-calf sector itself, that segment that accounts for the production of the initial product, that calf that will eventually become beef, exists in a variety of production environments that get really extreme in terms of the temperature, the rainfall, the type of land that we use in one part of the country or another. Because of that, we always say there's not one perfect size or milk level production cow that fits all those production environments, but the cow-calf sector itself is a really critical component of using our ag resources, and particularly land that for the most part couldn't be used for crop production and just isn't really very well suited for anything other than the production of beef cattle, or particularly a cow that can take that grass and turn it into a calf. And so we've got a unique industry relative to other countries. Another unique part of that is that in this country we produce a really high quality beef product, and that there is a great demand among consumers for that high quality, consistently tasting beef product itself. If we take a look at inventories, we see that historically we're at a very low inventory of cows in production right now, and with really good consumer demand, what this leads to is record high value of all classes of cattle, as well as record high value of beef, the product. If we think of that typical cow-calf production system, the average size of it on a national basis is about 47 head. There's only about 10% of all cow-calf producers that operate on a really large scale, thinking over 50 head. And so again, some unique characteristics and dynamics of it. Currently, how do we supply the robust demand for beef with this really low cow inventory? We are finishing cattle to heavier weights than we ever have before. It's not unusual in the last couple years to hear about 15, 16, knocking the door of 1,700 pound pens of finished cattle coming out of the feed yard. So that extra tonnage equates to higher carcass weights and helps us meet the consumer demand. As we think about the future, this currently low inventory of cows, what it's doing for prices, we often ask the question, are we going to see an expansion in the cow-calf sector and bring numbers back up? That's going to depend on things like weather and drought, but as we think of, if we begin to keep a really high percentage of replacement heifers this year, that biological time lag that I always talk about relative to beef production means that heifers born this spring turn into yearlings at 14 to 15 months of age that can be bred next spring, that turn into 2-year-old pairs 2 years down the road. We are now 6 to 8 months out from weaning those calves potentially turning into yearlings, and they're going to be fed for 6 to 8 months once they go in the feed yard. So we've got several year runway before we actually begin to see increased cow numbers and increased amount of beef, the product. So where we're at looks like where we're going to be for a while because of that biological time lag. I hope this helps, and as always, thanks for joining us this week on Cow-Calf Corner.